predominantly checking it here. We are using it some on desktop, but we're checking it again and again on our mobile devices. And it's obviously it's simplest for B2C, okay? But with B2B, it's a growing trend just because of time spent there, and more B2B businesses are utilizing it and finding ways to engage with people. And Facebook groups. How many of you are part of a Facebook group? Do you understand the difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group? Okay, Facebook has, you have profiles, that's what you use for yourself. Then your business can have a page, and another tool is a Facebook group. And Facebook groups are a little bit more private, and it's just a different variation of but it's a way to build loyalty. I often talk about it this way, in the sense that Facebook pages are tremendous for a public facing. That's kind of like a your website on Facebook. It's your place where people can discover you. That's where you're going to put out most of your content. All right, but for loyalty, for existing customers, for those with customer service questions, your Facebook group can be a great place for that. You can create a group. Now it is, that would be a separate thing that you would want to manage, but there's some benefits in that, particularly with notifications. So if somebody's a part of a Facebook group, okay, and the group leader posts in that group, those in the group can often get a push notification on their phone, so you can get in front of people a little faster, a little clearer that way, if they keep their notifications set that way. By default, they're set to get notifications. The big power of Facebook is the ad network, though, okay? The ad network. And yes, having a Facebook page for your business is free, and yes, there's just simply time involved in sharing some posts. But if you want to get the most out of it, you need to use the ad network, okay? Because the average user has the ability to see 1,500 different posts a day, all right? Based on the average number, the average user typically has a little over 100 friends, and they've liked a number of Facebook pages. And so out of all that mix of things that are being posted, the average user, if they stayed on it, could see 1,500 things a day, okay? Obviously, you're only on 40 minutes at max a day, right? So you're not going to see all of those. And Facebook then has an algorithm to show you what they believe is going to be most important to you. That's based on signals that you've given them. So if you've gone to you've probably noticed this before, you've interacted with a person or a page because you've liked something, you've commented on something, maybe you've shared something, you start seeing more of their content in your feed, okay? That's because Facebook is trying to take into account the signals that you're giving them. They're tracking all this data. And what happens is you typically will see natively about 5% of any post from any page. So you think if your business is putting out posts, sharing that, about 5% of your fans are going to see any one of those posts on any given day. Okay, because there's just a lot of volume out there. The Facebook ad network helps you multiply that and get in front of the right network. Not only just multiply that, but it's the ability to hyper target, and I mean reach anybody that you want in a very specific way. This is the power of the Facebook ad network. I call it the largest human database in the world today. Okay, because we have all volunteered tremendous amounts of information to them every day when we use it. Okay, when we started our Facebook profile, we put our name in there. We might have put where we went to college, university. We maybe put where we worked. We maybe connected, these people are part of my family. And then we began to share. And then we began to like things. So they're tracking every like, every page that you've liked, every group that you're a part of. And all of those things, develops a profile of each one of us. And that generic profile is then available in the ad network. So I can drill an ad down to find a very specific target audience. All right. So if I want to, I can create an ad from a post. I can share a post, and I can target that ad. I might target it regionally, so I could do it within 25-mile radius of Elkhart. I could target it by interest. That whatever those interests might be. If it's agriculture, if it's excavating, if it's whatever those pieces might be, Then I can narrow it down further by job title. I know that the person that usually buys from us is owner, president, vice president, purchaser, whatever that title is. So I can hone that down and I can just share it, my content, get it in front of that specific audience. All those pieces together, okay? So that's the power of it. It's not like a billboard that's out there and you hope it's relevant to some people, okay? You can put it out there and for, maybe it's $20, you can get it in front of 500 of that exact type of target, okay? And there's even more powerful ways to do that with custom audiences. Did you know that you can load a customer list to Facebook? All right, that's the email addresses of your customers, and Facebook will try to match that with people on Facebook, and then they will try to give you a audience, which is called a lookalike audience, that looks like the demographics of that audience. So you have your buyer customer list has profiles, okay? And so out of that, you load up 150 people onto the Facebook ad network. They will try to match that, and they begin to build a profile of what that demographic looks like. They will try to give you an audience of you, and it could be 200, 300, 400 people that look like your customer audience. Demographics are the same. How about that? If these people bought from us, isn't it fairly logical that these people who are like them may have interest in buying from us? Facebook ads let you do that. That's a powerful piece that they offer there. That's enough on Facebook. I could keep going as well. I'll shift to Instagram. Instagram is owned by Facebook, okay? So they got the power of Facebook behind them. They were bought for a cool $1 billion a couple years back, and this is one that continues to grow, okay? I mean, it's different than Facebook. You're not putting as much, it's visuals first, okay? So you're typically loading a photo or a video, and they just shifted the videos. Again, you've heard me talk about live video, all these different apps. Video is coming right now. So they shifted from 15-second videos just here in the past month to 60-second videos that you can take on your phone and load those up. So you can share stories via imagery about products and experiences. And it has surpassed Twitter in terms of total number of users. Twitter used to be kind of a number 2 in that regard. And it is doing that demographic shift. It started with a teenage 20-somethings, and now it's continued to evolve 30s, 40s, and you're starting to see some 50s getting in there on Instagram. Okay, it's different than Facebook or Twitter, just because it doesn't link out to something. You can't have a picture and then in the copy put a link that takes you somewhere. So your story has to be, visually has to tell it, but it's a way to amplify your content. So if you put a new blog post out, a new piece of content, let's just say, and I'll use the RV industry again. Let's just say that you want to roll out a new RV and you want to talk to people about it. Okay, maybe on your website you've got all the full details of this new unit. Okay, but you could come to Instagram and you could do a little video, now up to 60 seconds, where you could do a little walkthrough. Okay, and you could tell them and say, and then at the end you're saying, come over here to this web page, to learn more. That was your amplifier on Instagram to help drive traffic back to your website where there's more details, okay? So how are people using Instagram? They're using it for those kind of visual stories. So their events, their products, okay, lawn care, the cleanup, the before, the after, those types of simple things. The marketing specialties, it's the showcase of the new product, the new pieces, or the what you did for some client. It's going to a trade show, showing off your booth, what's happening there. Those types of pieces are ways that you can share on Instagram. Now, how do you gain the right type of followers on Instagram? That's largely up to you by searching out who is your right audience and following them. There's typically a reciprocal relationship on Instagram. If you follow me, my notifications make me aware of that. I can easily check out your profile, and I will have a decision to follow you back. So from a business perspective, you seek out those who are relevant to you. If you're a manufacturer with a dealer-distributor network, maybe you are seeking new dealers and distributors, you find those dealers and distributors on Instagram, you begin to follow them. That's the first point of awareness, that you exist to them, that you're out there, that you have interest in them. Then after you followed them, you begin to see their content in your stream. You can make comments on that. That's the way for you to socially engage with them, to build a little bit of rapport, build a little bit of connection, to ultimately hope that they begin to follow you. And then we have that. Then we have a next level where they're starting to see your content. All right. So that's a little bit of what's happening to Instagram. It's growing. It's changing. It's one of the fastest growing in terms of overall users right now. I just kind of went through that. Well, here's another tip with that, is that Instagram also gives you the quick ability to share whatever you post on Instagram to other networks. So you can have one-click access. You can set it up for your Instagram account to share to your Facebook page. Okay, so it goes through to both. It goes through to Twitter. Goes through to Tumblr, Flickr, all at once. So there's an efficiency there that you can use. It's not something that you want to use just in total, and that's all you do to get things on Facebook for your page. But if you're at a trade show event and you want to take some pictures of your booth, what's happening, that type of thing, it can be an efficient way for you to get something out quickly via Instagram to Facebook and Twitter for your Facebook business page as well. I'm going to move towards a timeout, but hang with me a second here. I'm going to go through YouTube. Okay. So what's interesting to note about YouTube, it is the second most searched search engine. Okay, so when I talk about search engines, Google's number one, and they have almost 70% of the share of search. So 70% of the people worldwide, when they go to a search engine to do a search, they're doing it on Google. Almost 7 out of 10. So usually it's somewhere between 67% and 70% on a monthly basis. All right. Number two, doing a search online. It's not Bing, it's not Yahoo, it's YouTube. Okay? Guess who owns YouTube? Google. Okay, just be aware of that. They're number one and number two right there. It's the second most used search engine, and obviously you can create videos of any length, and videos there can be helpful for your SEO, okay, search engine optimization. You can get videos to rank for certain key terms as well, because remember, who owns YouTube? Google. There's some preferences there in the way they rank things. They have a preference towards ranking YouTube videos higher in their newsfeed. So let's go back to our RV example. We've got our new model out, and we're going to have one of our product managers do a quick video walkthrough. You can use a smartphone on these things anymore. We can do that. We can walk through, and if it's 60 seconds or less, we could share that on Instagram, but we could also upload it to YouTube. Okay, so one piece of content. Again, that video is a piece of content, and let's say we did 60 seconds, so we could do it on both. Now we could load it to Instagram. Okay, we could go over to our Facebook page and load it there, and we could go over to YouTube and load it there. Now, there's reasons that you want to do it on all three, because each of those gives preference to videos loaded to their platform. So if you load it to YouTube, it has a better chance of ranking in Google search. Okay? If you load it to Facebook, it has a better chance of getting seen by your fans, because Facebook gives preference to videos loaded to Facebook pages in the newsfeed over YouTube videos. You can load it to Instagram. Okay? But let's go back to YouTube for a second. So if I load that video up, what I want to be careful about is my title. My title should have the keyword that I want to rank for. This is a luxury fifth wheel RV, those type of terms that somebody might be searching for when they're looking for a product. That's in my title, that's in my description. YouTube allows you to add tags. You want to do those types of pieces. In your description, you want to say, come over and find out more details about this luxury RV travel trailer at www.yourdomain.com. You can have an actual link in the YouTube description. Okay? So that's a way. And then all that content is just resident out there. It grows on YouTube. Now, what I'm recommending then is you go to YouTube and you use that little embed feature you grab the embed code, you come over to your website, and you put that video on your website. Always think about multi-purpose, multi-use for your content, okay? So, because somebody might be on YouTube and you hope that they find it there. Somebody else might be on your website and you hope that they see it there. So, take the time to use video, but then also to navigate and place your video in certain key spots. So, like that, like back on your website. So when they go back to that product detail page, there's an overview, there's text, there's images, but there can also be an embedded YouTube video on your web page there. Simple to do and highly recommended. Okay? So, I'm going to take my first time out. Gave you a little